Hi, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation. I was just sitting here listening to the news, to Democracy Now, and I thought, gee, I wonder if Jim Jordan's going to win today, right? Is he going to get the speakership? So I pulled cards on it, and I just want to share it with you because I wasn't intending for this to be a reading, but it is. It's, I guess maybe it's reading now. So we started with the immediate environment is the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands means a lot of information coming in, a lot of they're almost like missiles. So um, there's this similar sort of like energy of um, aggression, right? Um, being coming onto the planet, we'll say, right? And Jim Jordan, in his way, is is that energy, right? It's like that. I'm gonna beat you hand to hand combat, till you're bloody and you give up. Like that's what wrestling is. Well, I mean, no, wrestling doesn't do that. I understand that, but that's the energy of, um, I'm gonna beat it out of you, bully, bulliness. And we can see it not just in Jim Jordan, but we can see it in what's going on all over the world, in some of um, the places that are under the most stress from sort of military stuff. And um, and the, who this sense of like who's being battered here. So the idea of the Speaker of the House is third in line to the president, right? You're supposed to work toward the Constitution. You want to bring people together. You don't want to separate them out from each other. You don't want to. It's unity. Democracy depends on at least something we can all agree on, and it seems like that's really. But there has to be a point where we agree on something. And what's crossing this energy is the hope card, the star, the hope for a better tomorrow. This is an Aquarius card. This is a card that deals with um, equanimity, egalitarianism, humanitarianism. We see what was happening in the Ukraine. There was this huge wave of humanitarian help. We see what's going on in Israel, and it's a little bit of a different response to things, but it's also a humanitarian response. So there's this hope that we can help one another instead of hurt one another. And so that's the battle that we're fighting right now, according to these cards. Okay. At the root of it is an inability to, not an inability to feel, or maybe too much of an, there's a feelings, there's emotions, there's wounds that need to be healed. And the only way they can really be healed is through love. And so at the root of it, we have the feminine energy of feelings and compassion and tears. And, this is your feelings, your emotions. This, in fact, in the system I use, is connected to Scorpio. The queens are the fixed energy of the element, and the fixed sign of water is Scorpio. So we're talking about a transformation. Now, this is a little off subject, but the chart of Israel, the 14th of May, 1948, Tel Aviv, has the South Node in Scorpio conjunct Chiron in Scorpio. And there's the energy is Mars right now is in Scorpio. So this what's happening in Israel and Palestine and Gaza and the like can be an opportunity for a great healing. And I think that what we might be seeing is not what's actually going on the ground. And so we have to be aware that and you can see it, everybody has their point of view and everybody has their I guess prejudice. That there's another word. That's not the right word, but your point of view that you have more heart into, which in a way can be a prejudice. It doesn't necessarily mean it's like you don't like a certain race or something, but you could be prejudiced against an idea, right? So, I mean, so this is what it sort of sits on. There's this, and this is the Scorpio energy I'm talking about. It's this need to heal the wound, to really let it come out and let it be seen and let it be exercised in a way, you know. In the past, we have the Ace of Pentacles. And I know we're talking about Jim Jordan, and probably I should have stuck to that. What I would say about this in relation to Jim Jordan is that there's a woman, I think, who may foil him in some way, and it's very possible that she could be the one that either becomes speaker or whatever. And I don't know enough about the Republicans to know who I'm talking about, or if there is even a woman who would do that. I don't think it's Stefanik. No, she just does what she's told. Stefanik she doesn't have any real, I think she's expedient, and it's just not going to help us, but I don't think it's her anyway. So in the past for Jordan, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So there was a recent, well, in the past, there was an offer made, an offer of money, or an opportunity to make money. I don't know if this was January 6th. I don't know if something was paid off to make something disappear, kind of thing. Maybe it's the Ohio State thing that passed. But unfortunately, if it is, the message is coming out. The message is coming out. I feel like things are going to backfire, and what's happening in the immediate future is the Seven of Swords. There's a discernment and an understanding of what happened. This is how it's seen from the outside. He's seen as Donald Trump's stooge, I guess, right? This is one of my Trump cards. But his domestic situation is the Ten of Wands. It's burdens and burdens and burdens. He's not going to really get anywhere. It's just more problems, more burdens for him to carry. It's interesting. This guy posture is very much like a wrestler. What's his name has this posture. This isn't one of his major numbers either, interestingly enough. Um, Hopes and fears, we have the King of Cups. Um, I think that he is depending on somebody to have his back, but I don't think anybody has his back. So there's something about Jim Jordan that I always feel like he's sent out on a mission. They're like, send Jim out, he'll do it. He'll do it. He'll do it for the team, or he'll do it because we tell him to do it, whatever it is, whatever that is. And I think that he will. This is like a downfall. This is a downfall. So to answer the question, do I think he's going to be speaker? Now, I haven't watched the news today. Very well, he could already be speaker. I would say no. But if he did, I think a lot of the stuff that he thought would stay under, under the covers, so to speak, won't stay under the covers. I think that the information is going to come out about him and his past, um, and I think it's just going to be bad for him. So if he gets it, he may think he wins, but in the ultimate, he's not winning. I do not think that he's going to be speaker. So that's what the cards say. And as far as the energy of what's going, that little thing that I said in the beginning about, that's all so been in my mind. And so I want to talk a little bit about that in relation to these cards. I sort of had two readings going on at the same time. Sorry about that. I said I was going to do Jim Jordan, and then I got distracted. I did Jim Jordan. Hopefully you got the whole reading. Now let's talk about this energy, this masculine energy, this um, pounding of and this energy of sort of just indiscriminate, like, anger at what. So there was a bombing of a hospital, or a missile attack on the hospital right in Gaza, and the Israelis are saying it wasn't them, and the Gazans are saying it was them, and the Israelis are saying it was a rocket that the Gazans didn't actually, they fired, but it didn't actually make it, or something like that. So we have both sides saying that it's that side. It's a horrific thing, and the hospital that was hit, had been there since 82. And it was like I can't think of the denomination, a Protestant denomination, Baptist. I think it was a Baptist hospital. And what they would do is they would have, like, the hospital was there to help, like, women get, like, a cervical cancer screening, breast cancer, just like a woman's clinic. Like, it was there. It was there, and that's one of the things that it was known for, helping the people who needed it the most, right? And Gaza's half children, so there's a lot of babies, and it's a young population, so that kind of care is necessary. But and then all these people sheltered there, but that's where the bomb hit. Now, was it the Israelis or was it Hamas? I have my opinion. My point, however, is that symbolically, it's an attack on the feminine. And we're not going to put up with it anymore. Scorpio's like, no, it's time to heal this. We are going to point it out. We're going to point out all your sins. And you can sit there and think that we're just crazy, crazy girls, but we've carried this burden long enough, folks. It's the end. It's the end of the old ways. And I do think that I do think that things are going to get better. We are at a real inflection point. But the battle of the light, of moving into the light, of moving into love instead of hate, is already we're already on the right side of that. And it's important, I think, for us to have hope and to also have vision and to visualize what it is, what kind of world do you want to see? Not who can we blame, not necessarily who can we blame for the problems we have now. It's not so much of a blame game, it's more of an awareness of a way of being and a way of doing things that um, is no longer useful and no longer needed. Humanity is very conflicted. It's a conflicted, it's hard to be human because you're trying to keep a mind about yourself, your high, your higher, like your mental and your spiritual self. And then we have the earthly self, and that is yearning to be seen, where our earthly self, our emotions, our water, our earth, both feminine elements. This is a time of the masculine and the feminine uniting. It's not about the feminine, taking over and suddenly we have a matriarchy. It's about egalitarianism. It's Aquarius. It's this card, right? This is what protects us. Our hope protects us from what we're seeing to continue. Yeah, we're going to still have wars. We're going to still have tragedies. We're going to still have, but we have to be willing to see people's humanity. We have to see each other's humanity. It's not okay to bomb hospitals. It's not okay to bomb civilian centers. It's not okay to go in and kidnap people. It's not okay to take somebody's home. It's not okay to be mean to each. It's not okay to bully each other. That is the whole paradigm of the patriarchy. It's about overtaking. Why do you think it's such a terror? In a way, it's what's happening in Australia with not recognizing the people who've been on that piece of ground for, I don't know, 600,000 years. I don't know. It's a lot. It's a lot that we're so like sure of ourselves and our world viewpoint that we think we know better, to not let that in, to not let that wisdom in. Are you kidding me? So we need to stop what's going on by co-creating something different. And I know I've said it you have to start within yourself, and you do. Sometimes these things happen in the outer world to trigger us to think about it. This is we're having a cooperative experience, like whether we like it or not, we are humanity, and we have the power to do it differently. We have to, get out of the idea that we know better than the wisdom of the earth, and the wisdom of our true connection to source, which is love. So we have to love the earth. We have to love the feminine within us. Jim Jordan is, I did his numerology. He struggles with the feminine with me. He struggles with his sensitivity, and yet that's what he needs to come in and connect to, you know? And sometimes the only way to connect to your sensitivity is to be betrayed. And I think that's what these cards looked like for him. So I think I better stop talking because I don't want to say something that's going to get me in trouble. People are very sensitive about what's going on in Israel and in Palestine. People are very sensitive about a lot of things, and it's a necessary sensitivity because we're going through so much stuff. We're going through so much stuff. We're all sort of we're going through the portal. We're going through the portal. The next one is the 1111 portal. We just had the 1010 portal with the potential to create a new earth. We'll see what the 1111 portal holds for us. But I do know one thing about the 1111 portal that's coming up is it's a portal of choice. We're going to make a choice. All right. So utilize that prodigious third eye of yours and your heart, prodigious heart, and stand firmly on the ground, connect to the earth, and create the worlds that you want to see in whatever big or small ways you can. Keep the vision, keep the hope alive. This is how we do it. This is how we move forward. All right, guys. That's what the card said, and I wanted to share with you. So take care, everyone. We're going to get through this together. Namaste.